Welcome to the Love That For Us podcast.
Come hang out with us as we explore a holistic approach to entrepreneurship, wellness, and navigating relationships in adulthood.
We'll be getting vulnerable about life and dishing the business expertise we've learned along the way, interviewing industry professionals,
All while you get your weekly dose of girl talk and heart to hearts. We're your hosts, Carissa Emiko,
and Ashton Brooke.
and this is the Love That For Us podcast.
People probably don't know that we have the exact same good side, and so every time we're in video
It's
or
a
photo,
bestie problem.
we are fighting for the left side, and you get the left side of the video today.
And it was not intentional, and most of the time it is intentional when I put myself in the left position. Today, I genuinely just sat here. There was I promise in my life, there was no forethought of strategically getting my good side. And if
Okay.
there was, I would admit it.
Okay.
Promise.
We're together. Yay. Cheers. We're in
And
Nashville.
We're drinking alcohol. If you listen to Girls Gone Sober, we're intentionally drinking alcohol right now.
We are. We are thriving in Nashville. I feel like we would.
We're having so much fun. It's snowing. Okay, so if you're paying attention to weather in Nashville at all, it's like they got the amount of snow in one day than they usually get in an entire season. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Okay. And so I've never been in Nashville. I just thought like this is Nashville in the winter or whatever.
No, and it's like so strange.
It's so snowy, but I love it because I live in
You
California.
never get to see snow.
No, it's so nice. It's cute. It's cutie out. I'm looking out our window and there's just
It's pretty.
snow atop all of the buildings. It's so cute.
Yay. Well, welcome to the Love That For Us podcast. We are really excited to be in person, which is rare. So we made sure to hop in our robes.
I didn't. Is this not like so comfy?
It's so comfy.
I put it
Carissa,
on.
we put on our robes and she's like, I want to steal this. And immediately, where are my Gilmore Girl fans? When Lorelai and Emily steal the robes from the spa, Carissa was like, I think I'm going to steal this. And I was like, in my head, I was like, you're Emily, you're Lorelai Gilmore.
I need the robe.
Yeah.
It's like double. Like
It's
what is
perfect.
this? It's like a soft terry towel underneath. It's so nice.
Okay, should we tell them what we're here for?
Yeah, we're talking about multiple streams of income today and freaking going for your dreams, which sounds kind of cheesy, but that's literally what we're talking about.
Yeah.
If you listened to a couple episodes ago when we talked about Ashton quitting photography, we talked about multiple streams of income a little bit. And it's honestly a question you and I both get asked a lot by people in our lives who want business advice or anything. I don't know. We talk about multiple streams of income a lot. So we wanted to touch on that today. And also with multiple streams of income, a lot of times if you're going to decide to do that, that route is going to take you more entrepreneurial in general. And some people have never been an entrepreneur before or gone out of the realm of working
Their
a 9 to
niche.
5 or,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So yeah, so we're going to talk about that today. What are your,
We sure are.
what you want to, because they just heard your quitting story about quitting
Yeah.
photography. So you had multiple streams of income in place
Mm-hmm.
prior to quitting photography. I was reading your guys' questions, right? And like one of the most asked questions was what's next? And for you, I feel like that's maybe a little bit different because you already had
Yeah.
another stream of income in place with photography. So
Yeah.
talk about that a little bit.
So I think with conversations I've had with other photographers, they're like, I've also been thinking of like slowing down or pulling out of photography. Like how do you do that? And I would say if you know that photography isn't for you or whatever industry you're in isn't going to be for you long term, it might feel a little bit hard to expand the way that you're earning right now. But with a long-term mindset and vision for like what's next, I do think there has to be an expansion of what you're doing with your streams of income so that you're not locked into one thing. Well, we've also learned that I feel like in 2020, if you only had one stream of income and then things happen, like shit hits the fan or things happen for your family, like it's so valuable to diversify the way that you're making money.
Yes.
Because you just don't know what's going to happen in your industry or in your work. Like that's honestly for anyone with any job, even a corporate job.
Right. Like nobody saw 2020 coming.
You
Like,
can't control what your corporate situation is going to be, most people. So just as like a general piece of business advice, I know that people hear this, but diversifying your income is just the smartest thing you can do to provide you more security and to really widen the way that you support your family. And then you end up providing yourself more choice as your passions change or the future of your family changes or whatever. And so
when you have to pivot, there's less fear involved of what's next and what's going to happen, because it's not the only thing. And I feel like if you're listening to this and you're like, shit, I only have one thing, like, I don't want you to freak out, because a lot of people are in that boat, and you can add an additional stream of income literally at any time. At any time at all. So
yeah, I think it takes intention and preparation for that, and knowing like, I want to expand and I'm going to have to pursue that expansion, even in the midst of maybe you're like full time or you feel really busy. Everyone talks about like have a side hustle, and the word hustle there is a little bit important. Like it takes intention and hustle and some grit to get into a new stream of income. And that initial hustle is going to serve you long term. So for me, photography turned into expanding into education, which is not for everyone. And I'm not saying like you should do education if you're in photography at all, but it is a form for some people. Like digital products even are such a really great form of adding a stream of income. Like you are probably way more of an expert than you give yourself credit for. And so what can you provide the world in your expertise? Like, what are you good at in your niche?
And think about the questions that people ask you. Like, I'm thinking of my friend Elise, who we're going to have on the podcast soon. She's incredible and one of the most committed, disciplined people I know. Yeah. And she... Shout out Elise. And her and I were talking about like a free product for her to start building an email list. And she ended up launching a sourdough 101 guide, which is maybe to some people like you're like that sounds so random, but it's not random, because she's a photographer. She's an incredible photographer. She is in the same company with us for network marketing, and she shares about sourdough because she makes sourdough every day. She literally makes sourdough every day. So I'm sure her DMs are filled with questions about sourdough. Yeah. Okay. So she literally made a sourdough 101 guide because that's a question she gets a lot. So even if you are like maybe in photography, education isn't for everybody. But if you're getting people asking you questions all the time in your DMs, like, hey, I'm interested in photography.
What flash do you use?
What gear did you start out with, or whatever? Like, that is a sign of your expertise, what people are looking to you as an expert as. And that could be anywhere from your photography gear, sourdough, like where you shop for clothes. I should do that. People ask me like, where do you shop for your clothes? Like people always ask me, where are your top 5 stores? Like something like that. What are the things that people are asking you? Like that's your expertise, whether you think it is or not. It is.
Especially if you're sharing your life outside of your industry or like specific job. We're obviously going to share from the perspective of like we share our lives online and we harness that to provide us like in specific niches and to draw people in who are interested in the same things or who are interested in our stories and our lives and our jobs. So I feel like it's fair to say like we're coming from a place of like online marketing and storytelling, and some people are more just like marketing their service. Yeah. But if you follow us and you're like, how can I do what they do? How can I step into or like tap into like more potential that I have? Your people are following you for a reason. Even if you are in a creative or service industry, people will start to attach themselves and find a lot of interest in you as a person and a business owner. And so to really utilize both of those things in conjunction with each other is super powerful. And I feel like that's very much what drew people into and how I built a following of any amount. So never to discount like the interest people have in how do you run your business and like also time manage with like your family or having like multiple interests and hobbies and passions. I think people just discredit themselves. And part of like our goal for this episode is to just inspire you to go for the thing that like maybe you haven't shared about and like you have a lot of passion and expertise within. There is going to draw in an audience that wants to learn from you. And that's a really, really powerful and really cool place to have authority in. Like, how can you harness that, whether it's through a free product, like you were sharing with Elise, having a free product is just a really smart thing to like build trust with your audience. And it can be very, very simple.
Like a literal sourdough starter.
Yes. The thing that I have for my email list on my photo website is like a sparkler exit guide.
Mm-hmm.
And I just share like, what are my settings? Like, how do I prepare? What are the things that help me to best photograph a sparkler exit, which is a very high stress moment? But it could truly be anything.
My freebie is a self-love guide, kind of. So you guys know 75 Hard. I'm doing 75 Self-Love, which I've shared on here. But I was like, I'm just going to make a guide about this because I'm going to be taking people along on this, my own journey of it anyway. And I know other people probably want to do this too. Other people probably are also like, I don't want to do a 75 Hard right now. Like, that's not my jam right now. And that actually did really well. I got
that's so cool.
Over 200 people in the first week on my email list. And I was
that's such a random thing.
It's like, so random. And I
get on Canva, right?
Yes. Honestly, before that, I was like, what the F is my freebie going to be? Like, even someone who works in social media, I'm having to brainstorm that. And I'm like, what do people want from me? What's of value? And I talk about self-love a lot and I talk about mental health a lot. And I was already doing it for myself. And so I made like a tracker, like a cute, you guys, Canva, just go to Canva.
And find a
graphic designer. Just go to Canva. And that was so cool. Like, that was so, so cool to see like, wow, this is actually something people really want. And I think we can write ourselves out of the story and we can excuse ourselves out of thinking that we have something valuable to say. And let me tell you something. You have value to add to the world. Period. Like, you have value to add to the world. And it could be something as random as sourdough starter.
Yep.
It could be something as random
What's in your garden? What are you planting in your garden?
Literally, right? Like, it's
don't complicate
like
it.
Don't, it's not that deep. You always say
the thing is, it's not that deep.
It's not that deep. And it's just something fun that like highlights your personality. So anywho, we're kind of getting into email list marketing. Maybe we'll do a full episode on that.
Yeah.
But let's talk about what are different ways that you can make.
What are our multiple streams? Or do you want me to go back to my story of like...
Yeah, I don't know if you ever answered the initial question I
never did.
You. I was going to say, did you say that? And I blacked out.
Okay.
Or what happened?
Well, I was sharing how I got into education. And then Carissa was the person who introduced me to affiliate marketing, network marketing. And to me, we could do a whole episode on network marketing.
Episode on that.
Let us know.
You guys want to listen to that.
We have so much we could share about it, but for the sake of this topic, I'll keep it brief. I was super resistant to it for my own personal reasons and beliefs. And
share a couple.
Okay. Called out.
Just share some of those.
Let's just open that can of worms. I cared a lot what people thought of me.
Well, I think I'm asking you that because I think other people, I'm sure somebody listening to this podcast right now is like, oh my God, network marketing? Like,
cringe.
Like, I get it. And you relate to that. And that's why I want you to share that.
I did not do it for a year because
you were one of those people that was like,
Yes.
That's why I want you to share.
No, that's fair. Again, we could go into depth on that another time, but I cared so much what people thought of me. And like, I didn't have this longer term vision for like building wealth in multiple ways. And so I just kind of like stuck myself in a corner. I was like, no, this is it for me, when I actually had a world of like influence and opportunity. And I just like sold myself short until I got over like, who cares what people think of me? Like, I'm the one paying my bills. We're the one like building streams of income, building wealth for ourselves, building a future for our family. Like, I'm going to do this for myself and no one else. And if people don't approve, if people think that's weird, like, that's fine. That's them. But like, they don't get to have power over the decisions I'm going to make for my career and my opportunities. And honestly,
and your freaking family.
And my family.
Are you going to let what somebody else thinks of you dictate your life?
Right. At the end of the day,
no.
That's the question to ask
Literally,
yourself.
are you going to let, and so much of what holds people back, when I switched network marketing companies, that's like kind of a controversial thing in the industry. That was the question I kept asking myself. why am I not doing what I want to do? And it was fear of what other people were going to think about me and fear of what other people would believe about my character. And at the end of the day, I was like, I know my character. I know what I'm doing. I know that this is something that I want. And do I want to let the fear of what I think other people think about me hold me back from what I want? And I think a lot of people, when trying to enter into the digital space at all, have that fear. Like,
Yes.
you've never, maybe some of you have never faced the camera to yourself and talked to Instagram.
So many people don't do that.
Right? And like, yeah, that's scary. Are you going to stay in your comfort zone? Are you going to stay in your comfort zone and not do the scary thing that like your dreams is on the other side of?
Yeah. Because that is where connection is built. Like, it's just not enough to share like still photos on your feed and hope that like your brand is expanding and reaching more people and building connection and trust. Like, I know for a fact that back in 2017, when I was just like talking to the camera, bringing people along in my business, like that's what built this audience of people that said to me, I followed you for years. I feel like I already know you and you have to be my wedding photographer. Like,
Yeah.
I was providing them this sense, this actual peace of mind that they think they know. Obviously, I'm letting them into what I allow, but like they think that they know me, and that provides a lot of peace for them to hire me. It's the whole know, like, trust thing. If I'm not giving people the chance to know me, then I'm selling myself short and the way that I can work with people that might be dream clients. Again, that's a whole tangent.
Really tangent.
I know.
I'm like, did you answer the question?
No,
yet?
I'm coming back. I promise I'm coming back. But where were we? Help.
Okay. Well, I had asked you, what was that like quitting photography?
Oh yeah.
Literally, I don't think we've ever answered the very first question.
Okay, so I stopped.
But,
I
like,
stopped caring.
do you remember the question?
Yeah, I stopped caring what people thought of me. And then I entered into social selling, like products in a way that I had never done before, which felt very unnatural and scary for me until I just like broke through that discomfort and saw all of the results. Like, it was super cool and opened up this entire new stream of like an abundance of income that I never really thought possible for myself.
Mhm.
And you always did. And that's just like the nature of our friendship, where you're like,
I'm like, Ashton, pull yourself
together, you are Elastigirl. That is our favorite
It's our
quote
favorite thing
lately.
now.
When like one of us is down in the dumps, we're just like, no. And we do that slap
It's
thing.
with love.
So Carissa's always like envisioning success for me when I don't envision it for myself. Aw. We have a friendship moment. You spill your drink.
Carrie. I am. I literally
You are that.
believe in you so much.
I know. That's
Like,
like the
I-
best quality about
From
you.
like the first day of ever, I'm just like, you are unstoppable and you can have anything that you want. And you can. Like, you have so much potential that you've already unlocked and more. Like, it's like so cool.
I know. You are really, really good at that. And like everyone needs a friend that like sees everything good in a person and like calls it out in them and like calls them up to it. You really do that.
Thank you.
No.
I almost kissed you. Every time we have a moment,
We just like kiss. I'm dead.
the
Oh my
amount of
God.
times I say to you, almost kissed you.
Almost kissed ya. Anyways,
what was it?
so this is us in person.
This is us one drink deep.
I'm not even. I'm half in.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Anywho. Okay. You started to see the abundance of
I did.
what was possible when you just like stepped past your fears and you were like, let me freaking do
Yeah.
this.
And the thing is, I was already good at sales because I learned to sell myself as a service industry owner. Like,
Right.
that's the thing, is we
Yeah.
are just like selling something. And I found a way that was not weird to me. And I felt like I went against that like stigma and that weird, like cringy way. I was like,
Right.
I'm never going to do that. And
Right. You're like, I'm not cringy. I don't want to be cringy, so I'm not going to
I'm not going to be.
Right. It's as simple as that.
So I've always like walked that road feeling like this is how I'm going to show up in social selling and the right people will come to me. And that has always been my approach. And it's felt so good every time. So that's always available for people, like to just form their own path down like social selling, affiliate marketing, all that stuff. Even the way that you sell your services, like just being proud, and like when you feel aligned with what you are giving people and offering to people, there's never like a need to feel weird about it. Like I remember when people would say no to me with like a wedding proposal, I'm like, I stopped fearing rejection because I'm like, that's fine. Like they get to choose their value and they get to choose like what's right for them. And rejection happens in sales all the time.
And so just accepting that you're not for everybody.
No.
But being not for everybody makes you really for some people, and those are your people.
Yes.
And that's something that you just have to accept entering into entrepreneurship or another stream of income, digital marketing, the digital space at all, is like, not everybody's going to like you. That's really hard for me, but not everybody's going to like you.
There are always people for you, and there will always be people that
you could
aren't
be the
for you.
juiciest peach in the world, and somebody's still not going to like peaches. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you did.
Great. Love that for me.
So the thing that I know I shared a bit about in my quitting episode or my retirement episode.
Because we're fancy.
was that I had set myself up, even without planning on it, even without knowing my timeline of business. I feel really proud of myself for expanding and stepping into something without all of the ducks in the row.
Right.
My ducks in a row.
All of the ducks in the row.
All of the ducks were not in a row. But to do that out of like a place of wisdom and understanding, like, I don't want to feel boxed in.
Not have all your eggs in one basket financially.
Correct. Yeah, that's a bit of a scary thing. And so I think that's what we want to do, is inspire whoever's listening to not put all your eggs in one basket, to not put yourself in one box, but to just like fly, baby, like see what's out there and
it
try
doesn't have to
things.
be something grandiose that's like an additional full salary. Like
Correct.
You guys, $200 to $500 extra a month is life-changing for most Americans.
Yes.
$200 to $500 extra a month. Like in all the different things that we've done to help coach people to make more money, whether it's been in photography or network marketing or even just like friendships I have, literally people are like, I got to pay for my kids like extracurricular soccer league. Like those stories. It's like, those are things that people are like, I didn't have to stress about buying groceries or whatever it is. It's like, honestly, inflation's a bitch. And like, if you can just $200 to $500 and the limit does not exist. The limit does not exist. But if you're somebody that's like, actually, heck yeah, $200 to $500 extra a month is worth it. I can see that. It's the cushion that like is needed right now. And to know, and like, God forbid you ever lose whatever job you have, that you have that additional thing on the side that's $500 extra a month. Like, imagine like the security that helps you have. And that's why diversifying your income at the youngest age possible that you can is so freaking smart. Is so freaking smart.
The limit does truly not exist in the ways to make money. Like, we're just sharing our story, but it doesn't have to be yours. Like, there are so many ways to make an extra $200 to $500 minimum on the internet. And I think people just like don't explore those out of like, I'm not good at anything else, or I don't know what, like, go learn it. Yeah. Go figure it out. Go find free trainings, and don't worry about whether like that's the thing. I think the experimentation is part of the process.
Part of the process for sure. And also, I feel like if you're listening to this and you have found us in some way, you probably are at least interested in the digital space somehow. If you're not, that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want you to do something that you're not interested in, but here's what I see the most is people are interested in working in the digital space and they have fear or what's it called? Why am I blanking on limiting beliefs? I was like, limitations? What? Limiting beliefs that are holding them back. I don't have anything important to say. People don't want to listen to me. I'm not good at that. Like, these are limiting beliefs, right? When the truth is, you do have something important to say. You can learn it even if you're not good at it, right? Yeah. Like, those are just things that are holding you back. So if you're listening and you feel like, actually, that is something I'm interested in, I just don't know how, or I feel scared, or I feel fear, that's what we're here to say. Like,
go listen to our mindset episode.
Yes, go listen to the mindset episode, because we are living proof. It's kind of crazy, actually. Like, we are living proof that you can, like, start by knowing nothing and
Mhm.
make your freaking financial dreams come true.
Yeah.
Like, you can build income for yourself without help from anybody else. You guys, I learned how to be a website designer on YouTube.
That's crazy.
I didn't go to school for that. People always ask me, like, oh, did you study graphic design website? No, I'm literally self-taught from YouTube.
And now you sell online templates, which are eventually they become passive income.
Right.
That's a whole stream of income. You are active in your design business where people ask for brand and website. You're hands-on helping them with that. That's a whole stream of income. But you have in one niche, design, you have found ways to make passive income, active income, and that's just one portion of the way that you make money. It's so freaking cool.
Well, the internet, it's like,
yeah.
the internet, you have, like, honestly, friends, you have zero excuses. Like, there are no excuses. Literally, you can learn
zero. I was like, what word did you say?
Like, isn't that how you say it in Spanish?
I don't know.
Zero.
I was just clarifying for our listeners that share my confusion.
The goose egg. Zero. You have zero excuses on adding an additional stream of income. You cannot be a victim of that. If you are like, I don't know how, or I'm just not capable, excuse.
Yeah.
Sorry, tough love. Excuse. Like, it's an excuse. There are so many ways to do it, and you just have to start. Like, literally, if you're like, I could be a website designer, YouTube.
Go for it. Find people that mentor or have classes. You've took someone's class.
I bought people's courses. I bought people's courses and learned, like, how to have passive income templates, how to do, like, all these things. So
one of the things that you mentioned when you were talking about, like, $200 to $500 a month, and if someone is full-time doing and they're self-employed, we both know how that can take so much time and energy.
Yes.
And so the idea of even starting something else might feel overwhelming. But like you said, it doesn't have to be a full $50,000 salary thing. You can start small and know that when things change, you can pour more energy into the thing you've already laid a foundation for. And now that's going to be available when and if you need to tap into it. But to have, like, baby steps going in other things and to dip your toes into other buckets, I don't know if that's to say.
I don't know, but it's a funny imagery because I'm picturing all these buckets around me in a circle, and I'm just dipping my toes.
Just dip your little toes in.
Dipping my toes into all the buckets.
You might find a new passion. You might find something, like, I didn't ever expect that I would love coaching people in the network marketing space, but I found a lot of passion in it because I'm like, oh, I've seen how cool it is to help people create these streams of income, to not know how to use social media very well, but to give them the tools to succeed. That's really fulfilling for me. Sometimes, like, that's not even always like a monetary return for me, but I just find, like,
it feels good.
It feels really good because people need it. Like, everyone is looking for more ways. And so I think, to simplify, we kind of wrote a list too of, like, here's a couple of streams that we know people do in the online space, like social selling, like we shared about, influencing on any level, micro influencing.
You guys, it's like the time of the micro influencer.
It is.
You don't need 200,000 followers to make an impact, get brand deals, make money online. Like, online spaces actually want micro influencers now more than ever,
because you have so much trust with the audience that knows you versus a stranger with a big number attached to them where you've never spoken to them. You don't really have trust with them. You just know that they share and they make money. Like, people want to buy from people that they know because there's less risk involved. And so, again, like, to step into the authority that you don't even feel like you have, that's where it's available to make influencing money, whether you think you are or not. Like, start showing up like an influencer and just, like, see what happens.
Online guides and digital products, so, like, kind of like the freebies we were talking about, but you can turn also those into following up products that are digital. Those can be things that are sold for, like, $20, $50, $47 or
you can put them on Etsy.
You can put them on Etsy. Like, I'm serious too. Canva, you guys, even the free version of Canva, it's limitless. I hope everybody's heard of Canva, but if you haven't, go there. UGC and brand deals. So UGC is user generated content. So people are making thousands of dollars. It's, like, funny. It's funny because the way that influencing has evolved and changed so much. And it used to be like, the influencer with 1 million followers. And now it's like micro influencers and people that do UGC. So UGC basically means you could literally have, I'm not even kidding you, 100 to 200 followers and be making thousands of dollars with UGC, because the brands don't care how much following they have. They're not paying you to promote their product on your channel. They're paying you to create content for them to use on their channel.
Okay, break that down.
Okay, so what that looks like is, say you get a deal, and literally go to TikTok and type in UGC and you'll find 1 million free guides on it. I don't do UGC, but like you can go find a free guide on it anywhere. A hair company sends you a hair product and you use your literal iPhone, nothing fancy. You don't need to get all this camera gear.
Yeah.
You use your literal iPhone to take a video of the product just sitting on the shelf. And then you take hair might be a little more vulnerable for some people, but you could wash your hair. It doesn't matter. It could be a skin serum. It could be a freaking, what's a random product? Like it could literally be anything. A phone light, a cup. It could be cups. Like the company sends you the product, you take a video that's of you using it. That's very just like, what they want is girl next door vibes. They don't want a professional marketing team produced thing. They want it to look like you don't have the best ever lighting in the world, but you can like kind of take a video and you're a normal person sharing about the product.
Okay, how do people like, do they reach out to companies? How is that
that's
happening?
Why I'm saying we could do we will find a UGC creator and have them on our podcast.
Ooh,
let's do that. But
love that.
But honestly, right now, if you're like, yes, that sounds like me, I'm not kidding. I've gone a deep dive on this. Go to TikTok, type in UGC how to start, and you will find hundreds of people like having free guides or selling them for $17 that'll break down how to do it for you. But that's something that you can do within the hour of your day. That's like, that can bring in substantial income.
Yeah. The Amazon reviewer
program. Maybe I'll have my other friend on. I have a friend that makes thousands of dollars a month doing that. And he's not a social media guy or anything. Like,
right. He just does that specific program and makes a lot of money.
Here's the thing that all of these things have in common.
Tell us.
You have to keep going. You can't give up. Too many people enter the entrepreneurship digital space and they want quick money, or they don't have the grit and the tenacity to keep going, and they end it and they're like, that didn't work for me. And it's like, no, you didn't work for it. You have to commit your time and be willing to be the person that doesn't give up. You have to do that no matter what you're doing entrepreneurially. You have to be the person that's not afraid of failure and that's willing to keep going and learning as you go. And I swear to you, if you can do that, you will make it happen.
Yeah.
Like, that is always what sets people apart from the rest who have success and who don't, is they literally just don't stop trying.
Yeah.
Period.
I would love our listeners to truly message us, like on our whatever Instagram profile, like, what do you want more of? Like, what would help you? Because we want to use this space, like this podcast platform, to help other people. And there's so many ways that I love the idea of bringing on people that are just doing it really well and can give their expert advice. Because like, we have our own expert advice in what we do, but because there's so many opportunities, like, I really think if you guys just share with us, like, what do you want specifically more of? We can get those people on. And I think that would be so cool to be like even more specific and like walk us through
each of these things individually.
Yeah. Like that sounds really cool to me.
We should like go down this list and find.
Ooh.
Let's freaking do it. And network marketing, you guys, like, I also want to say, we are open books about this.
Oh, yeah.
Like, would I freaking love for you to come work with us? Yes. But like, also, I am more passionate than ever about people feeling aligned with where they are. So if you come to me and in this conversation, I'm like, I don't think this would be for you, I'm going to tell you that. I want people to feel good about what they're doing and feel aligned, whether that's doing network marketing or not, or with our company or not, or doing digital products, UGC, whatever it is. Like, you need to choose things that align with what you want and your dream life. And that's what's going to make you honestly happy.
Good. That's what's going to keep you sustained in the work you're doing. Like, if it's not flowing and you're not meshing with what you're doing, like, that's never going to provide you the energy to keep going. As we're, like you said it, like, don't stop when you're learning about these things, or when you're entering something new,
or stepping outside your comfort zone.
Yeah. Like, don't give up, because 99% of people are quitting before they've reached like this is very, very real time for me. Again, maybe we'll get into this. I feel like I'm always like just like sharing these vulnerable things. I can't get into it today, but like I am in quite literally very real time, like having that experience of like resistance inside of me, but pushing through that and asking myself, like, what does grit and determination look like when I don't feel like doing this, but I know that the result and the outcome I want is on the other side of pushing through?
Always.
When 90% or whatever, I mean, that's a made up thing I'm saying, but like when most people are quitting.
No, but that is actually 90% is a very accurate statistic. Maybe we'll do that thing where people like correct their statistics they do on their podcast next time.
Oh, yeah.
But like that's actually a very real percentage for network marketing. That's a very real percentage for stock trading. That's a very real percentage for realtors. Like, and it's because all of those things are dependent on the individual pushing through and making it happen for them. Like, that's just the reality. That's the reality is most people quit.
And it just takes like long-term perspective. I don't even know what I was just going to say. Just
not focusing on the short term.
Like short-term gratification.
Or big expectations. Like, why do people, January 12th is like National Quit Day for like New Year's resolutions. 12 days into the year?
Come on now.
Let's be better than that.
Yeah, the instant gratification is tough because when you don't get what you're hoping for in the first month, you're like, oh, I'm trying, I'm going. It's like, okay, that's 1 month. Like, how long does it take to become an expert at something? 500 hours, right? 1,000. What's the? We're
throwing out a lot of numbers, and now I'm very. We're going to correct them next time.
We will.
I'm throwing out too many inaccurate numbers.
I think it's like 10,000 hours. Wait, I don't know. Someone tell me.
What's that song? 10,000.
5,000.
Oh, it's a country song. You're not gonna know it. It's like Justin Bieber and Dan and Shay.
I was thinking of the one that's on The Office.
525,000. That's from Rent.
Oh.
600 minutes. 500.
Okay, well,
do you know the song?
No, I know from The Office. It's like that's like watching Die Hard 80,000 times.
You know the Office version.
Yeah.
Do you know the original version?
Not really.
It's a country Broadway. Song. No, it's Broadway. It's Rent.
I didn't see it.
It's like one of the best Broadway soundtracks that ever existed. I'm going to show it to you after.
Debatable.
I'm going to show it to you after. Anyway.
Wow, we really get fired up about this.
Here's the vibe. We believe in you. Like, I literally, what I feel for you is like kind of what I feel for everybody. No offense, you're not special. I know. I look at people. You are special.
No, but tell me I'm special.
Tell me I'm special. When I look at people, I just like see their potential so deeply, and I always want to like pull yourself together.
Literally,
you are Elastigirl. Like, to everybody, I'm just like, please, like, you see the life that you want is right there, and you just have to reach out and grab it. And is it gonna be easy?
Is it gonna be comfortable?
Is it gonna just come right to you?
Never.
No, it's gonna involve growth. Everything you want really is on the other side of that growth and stepping out of your comfort zone. But if you do that, like, you will not regret it.
Also, what's very real time for me, I keep saying that, sorry. Ugh, I'm like gonna wait at my own voice. Everyone knows our word of the year is discipline. And what's happening for me is I'm asking myself, like, do I want to stay the person I am? Like, there's actually two results on the other side of pushing through. The like business goal or financial outcome I'm looking for, and also the personal growth and development that is more of who the person I want to be. Like, that's actually double winning, like double earnings. Like, you're not going to stay comfortable and stay stagnant. Like, there's two things available while pushing through discomfort or roadblocks and things that are like frustrating. You're actually going to build a character quality that like maybe you don't have, or you're going to strengthen a part of you that you didn't know was able to be strengthened, or like didn't know that you could achieve, you know, like that's actually such a cool part of the growth journey. Yeah, it's a win.
And, like, that's a stepping stone. If you look at like where you want to be and what you want out of your life, and maybe you try this business venture and you do it, even let's say you're like, I'm freaking committing, and I do it for 2 years and it quote unquote fails. A failure is not if failure is not negative, and if
Yeah.
you look at your once you can start looking at your failures as a positive thing, that's going to only continue to help you grow, because you're saying like, okay, maybe you don't succeed in this thing, but what you've succeeded in is growth. Like,
yes,
you've
exactly.
succeeded in growing a new, like, or strengthening a new character trait that you
getting
have,
outside
or
your comfort zone,
being
like,
more disciplined. Like,
yeah.
you've strengthened that, and that's a win. And you
For
have to
sure.
look at those things as wins. You have to look at your failures as wins, seeing what you've learned from that failure. Like, success literally isn't possible without failure. So
right. So what else is there left to say?
That's
really?
it. Goodbye.
Goodbye. We're done.
No, but I think we're probably close to being done.
No, but actually we're done.
No, but actually, goodbye. We love you guys. We believe in you. Our DMs are open. I feel like at this point, I can really genuinely say, like, if anybody listening DMs us, I am seriously happy, because we're just like a small little intimate podcast
It's
right
just
now.
us.
Like, I really want to hear
Reach
from
out.
you guys.
We want to hear, like, what are you venturing into? It could be quite literally anything. We want to know.
Yeah, we want to
We
know.
care.
And we will work on getting experts in all these different digital marketing spaces
Yeah.
on for you guys, so you can kind of learn about the different ones and see what you might be interested in doing.
Boom, baby.
Cheers.
Cheers. See you later.
Bye.